What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talkin Sports with Josh. Just Josh today, no Nil. He's got some personal stuff going on, so it's just going to be me today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. I know I say this every episode, but it's going to be around 35 minutes. We're going to be talking about District 15 5A. Last week, we were talking about District 16 5A, talked about Mission Vets, talked about Sharyland Pioneer, all the good stuff right there. So this week and next week, we will be previewing District 15 5A. We're going to be doing Brownsville Pace, Brownsville Lopez, and Brownsville Porter today. So a little Brownsville trifecta today, just the Brownsville schools. And then next week, we'll be finishing it off with Mercedes, Donna, Corpus Christi, Ray, and Gregory Portland. So a total of 7 teams in this District 15 5A, a little bit different than what it was last year. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll be giving you the preview for all 3 of those schools, Pace, Porter, and Brownsville Lopez. We'll be right back.
Rightfully theirs. We're right by your side, no matter what. Call Kenny Pettis Injury Lawyers today. 956-999-1111.
I fell on a loose towel at the grocery store, and now they're saying it's my fault. Do you think you could help?
Of course I can help. You should be focused on feeling better.
Oh, thank you, Law Champ. Hey, do you think I can get a selfie?
Of course.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years. Leave the hiring to us. Let us become your personal hiring guru. We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs. Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate, call us now.
Time to take a new look, and maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. For your Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Just came back from a commercial break. Like I said in the beginning, if you're just tuning in, we're going to be talking about the 3 Brownsville schools in District 15 5A Division 2. So we got the 3 schools here. We're going to talk about them for an extensive amount of time, maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes. We want to get really in depth, especially with these big districts where you got like 15 5A has 7 teams. I believe 31 5A or 16 5A. We just talked about 16 5A last week. They got 8 teams. So football season's coming up. We got the show once a week. Me and Nil's not here, right? But we're trying to get every team their opportunity to talk about every district in the Valley that is going to have the Premier Valley teams, and obviously not just the Premier Valley teams, but the Valley teams that everybody's going to be tuning into once August comes around, once 2 days are done and football season starts right after the scrimmages, right? So we're in July 10th. We got a month where we got to get to it, right? So we're going to be talking about Brownsville, Pace, Lopez, and Porter of District 15 5A. I'm going to go ahead and start with Brownsville Pace. Brownsville Pace, they were, I believe, 4-7 last year, and so not that great of a season. Snuck into the playoffs as the 4 seed. Coming in, they are looking for a hopefully better season. But good news for you Viking fans, right? We got a lot of players coming back. We got let me pull it up here. I guess you could say a little bit of a down season. 4-7 last year, 2-3 in district, only 5 total teams in district. So now it's 7. We're going to see how that pace of play really changes now, because you had Mission Vets, Mercedes, Lopez, and Ed Couch in district play last year. You were able to beat Lopez, you were able to beat, or I apologize. I believe also PSG Southwest was in there. 6 teams, 4 make it. So Pace was one of the lucky ones to make it in there. You were able to beat PSG Southwest, lost to Ed Couch, pulled off a stunner against Lopez, lost the last 2 against Mercedes and Mission Vets. Now, it's gonna be a little better, I think, for Pace the Brownsville schools in this district. Pace, Porter, Lopez, right? Because naturally they're on the bottom of the schedule. On the preview rankings, they're gonna come out on the bottom of the schedules, right? But you don't have Mission Vets in there anymore. Ed Couch you don't have in there anymore. But they are replaced with teams like Gregory Portland, Corpus Christi Ray, and Mission Vets. Mission Vets is gone as well, but you still have Mercedes. Mercedes is going to be one of the best teams in the Valley, as they always are every year. Gregory Portland and Corpus Christi Ray. Some teams have down years, but if they play the way they used to play and the way they've been playing for years, those 3 top spots are going to be taken. And then it's up to Donna. It's up to Porter, Pace, and Lopez, those other 4 schools. So it's a sad thing to say, but Pace, Porter, Lopez, Donna, you guys might be fighting for one spot. Unless Gregory Portland has a down year, Corpus Christi Ray has a down year, Mercedes has a down year, which I do not foresee happening. Now, don't shoot the messenger, right? Don't hate the messenger, hate the message. So we're going to be talking about Brownsville Pace. Some good things about them, though. They got a couple players coming back. So they do not have their quarterback returning. They got a junior running back. So as a sophomore last year, Damian Mahano, 146 carries, 921 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, and 10 touchdowns. So as a team that is losing their quarterback, losing their veteran, as every team knows, quarterback is the most important position. Running back is right up there too. If you can have a running back that is experienced, it's going to go a long way. They have also another player coming back, Derek Salcella. He's going to be a senior this year, 50 carries, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They have Ernesto Torres, who's also a senior, 31 carries, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's a running back trio right there that you have coming back. You have 3 running backs that have got varsity experience and have each had 30 or more carries in a varsity game. So you have that experience coming back. You got running backs where you have Mahano, who's the workhorse, 921 yards, right? But then you also have Salcella and Torres that can help him out. And that helps where maybe Salcella and Torres play receiver. Maybe they can help out on the defensive end. Having extra players like that will help tremendously. And even in the run game, you have a 3-headed monster like that. I would like to see how Pace's O-line comes out of it. I would like to see how they come out in the offseason. I don't know how many players they are losing or returning on that O-line, but in my opinion, nothing can work without the O-line. If your O-line is horrible, it's not going to be great. If your O-line is great, you're going to see those 3 running backs have at least 300 yards each. So I'm excited to see Pace. I think they're going to do good things. I'm excited to see. They also have a Juan Hernandez coming back. He's a senior. He had 50 rushing yards and 382 receiving yards, along with 129 kick return yards. That's almost more than 500 all-purpose yards, or a little more than 500 all-purpose yards. So on the offensive side, you have a couple skilled players coming back. Losing a couple receivers, you're losing your star quarterback. I don't know how that O-line is going to be. And then on the defensive side, it really doesn't get any better. You're losing 12 seniors that played. And I'm not saying, obviously, there's only 11 players that play on the field, right? But every D-line has a couple rotations. Every DB, somebody's going to get hurt. You got to rotate some guys in. Linebackers, same thing. So you have 12 total guys that played, that got meaningful minutes, that will not be there next year for Pace. They had 9 total sacks as a team and only 4 total interceptions. Now, when we get to these stats here, these defensive stats, that's not a good look. Like, you have some players that I know we talked about, like PSG North, where they got 2 players that average 15 sacks on their own. Teams have players that average 8 sacks, 7 sacks, 6 sacks. And Pace only has 1. Their whole D-line can only get 9 sacks, 4 interceptions. So they got to get after the quarterback here. Now, you're losing the best team in their Mission Vets, right? But you're playing Gregory Portland, you're playing Corpus Christi Ray now, who it's going to be tough to rush the passer on these guys. It's going to be hard to stop the run to get a pick off. This is a different level of competition in Gregory Portland and Corpus Christi Ray. And Pace, they did not play that last year in the district. They played all Valley teams. Ed Couch, Mission Vets, they are gone, and they are replaced with Gregory Portland, Corpus Christi Ray. So the struggles on that D-line are going to be tough. 9 sacks in 11 games, and 4 interceptions in 11 games. That's not something good to look at. And then you are also losing 12 seniors on that defensive side. So Pace, it's going to be an uphill battle. It is. If I am a member on the Pace Vikings, you are looking to beat Lopez, to beat Porter, to beat those 2 Brownsville schools, which you know you are for sure familiar with. You beat Lopez last year in a shootout. You barely beat Porter 7-0, but you got those wins. That should give you confidence going into next year to where you can get some district wins. And I don't know how the JV squad looks. I don't know how their freshman squad looks, but we've seen teams come out the following year with 5 sophomores, with 6 juniors that were on JV last year, and they just come out and they ball, and they have a young group. So who's know what Pace has that we don't know, right? I'm looking at what I see, the stats that I can see on Max Preps, the games that I can watch. So Pace losing a lot of seniors on that defensive side, losing their quarterback on the offensive side, returning 3 great running backs, returning a great receiver who can also run the ball, who can kick return. So that helps out in that third variable of football is special teams, right? On the defensive side, it's going to be tough. You're not going to be able to – Pace couldn't win that much shootouts last year. So imagine if you're losing a lot of players on that defensive side. You're either going to be losing by a lot of points or you're going to find yourself in a lot of shootouts, which that is not what Pace is known for. Pace is known for the ground and pound. They can run the I formation. They can run gun. They can run pistol, where like more traditional lineups. They can run it with a tight end with an H-back. We've seen Pace run it with a fullback. We've seen Pace run many different offenses. Their offensive coordinator, head coach, very able to adapt to the style that they have, to the players that they have. So we don't know what kind of quarterback they have. If they have a running quarterback, a pocket passer, I trust fully in the Pace coaches that they know what they are doing to get their offense and their scheme right. But you have a lot of unknown variables. And this is from the outsider looking in, fan looking in, sportscaster looking in, right? Every fan that is tuning in right now to look at it, you don't know how the O-line is going to be. You don't know how your new quarterback is going to be coming in. You have 1 receiver coming back. That's a lot of holes to fill on the offense. Defensively, losing 12 seniors. I know I've said it like 4 times already. You're losing 12 seniors. That's tough. You can't just replace that. Now, it's not more you're replacing the stats that they have, because there's not a lot of stats here. 9 sacks as a team, 4 interceptions. You're replacing the experience. You come in, we see this every year with teams that have gone to the 2nd, 3rd round, and they don't return a lot of seniors the following year. They have a little bit of a down year because it is just a whole new batch. You had a senior heavy last year, took away, rightfully so, they're the better players, took away a lot of reps from the kids on JV, kids on freshman team. Rightfully so. They are the better players. It's just tough to emulate that varsity experience, game experience for a first-year varsity player. So if you are a sophomore coming in next year as a junior, you are going to be playing your first couple games as a varsity player. It is 100% different than playing Mercedes varsity football team week 1 or week whatever than playing Mercedes JV football team week whatever. So to emulate that varsity style, that style of play, that speed, is going to be tough, losing that many seniors on the defensive side of the ball for Pace. 4-7 last year, 2-3 district play. One of those wins, they will be coming back. Lopez will be coming back next year. So Pace looking to build off of that. It's going to be tough. Like I can't sugarcoat anything for the Pace Vikings. You got 2 powerhouse programs. Everybody knows about Gregory Portland. Everybody knows about Corpus Christi Ray. Everybody knows Mercedes High School. And who's to say that one of them doesn't fall out of the top 4? One of them doesn't fall out of the top 3, right? But if I am one of the rankers, the sports rankers, if I'm a betting man, I say that in no particular order, those first 3 to make the playoffs, 3 of the 4, 75% is going to be Mercedes, Corpus Christi Ray, and Gregory Portland. So from the outside looking in, it looks like there's 4 teams fighting for one spot: Brownsville Pace, Brownsville Lopez, Brownsville Porter, and Donna. And so it's tough. It's for a team that made the playoffs last year. You want to sneak in again. You want to make it again. It's just going to be really tough. I don't see it happening, but who knows? I really hope they prove me wrong. As somebody that comes from Brownsville, I'm a huge advocate for Brownsville teams. I really hope that they do great things. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, looking in, it's going to be tough. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We just finished our Brownsville Pace segment. We're going to be going on to Brownsville Lopez when I come back, talk about all of that. Did a little bit worse last year than Brownsville Pace. We're going to be going to Brownsville Lopez, and then once I'm done with that, we'll go to another commercial, go to Brownsville Porter, and that will be our show. But right now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, Brownsville Lopez and the talk of the Lobos. So we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
It's the island. This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
Rev up your future with Texas Southmost College's Auto Body Repair Program. In just 2 semesters, you'll gain the skills to become an auto body repair specialist. Learn using industry standard iCar Academy to get you job ready fast. If you're ready to drive your career forward, TSC's Auto Body Repair Program is the place to start. Classes are filling fast, so visit tsc.edu and apply today.
It means a lot to me. TSC has changed me to make me realize that I can accomplish things. Just don't give up. I've come a long way from where I was to what I am now, and there's no limit to where I'm going.
Give your little one the best start at Brownsville ISD's Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 programs. At BISD, 3 and 4-year-olds develop fundamental skills that pave the way to lifelong success. With quality educators, access to the latest technology, and free nutritious meals to fuel the day, our young minds explore and learn in exciting new ways. Enroll your 3 and 4-year-old today at Brownsville ISD, the best choice.
No matter where you are in life, Texas Southmost College is here to help you move forward. Whether you're starting fresh, changing careers, or gaining new skills, TSC has affordable programs designed to fit your goals. It's time to take the next step. Think big. Think bright. Think TSC.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So we just finished talking about Pace, Brownsville Pace, the Vikings, and now we're going to stick in Brownsville. We're going to talk about the Brownsville Lopez Lobos now. So Lopez last year, we're going to pull up their max preps here, get their record and everything. Give me 1 second. Not as great of a season as expected. They did. I know for sure they lost a game to Brownsville Pace. I want to say 3-8 was their overall record. So let's go ahead and check that out right now. Give me 1 second. Close enough. 4-6. So 4-6, almost the same record as their district mate Brownsville Pace. But they did lose to Pace in district, which knocked them out of the playoffs. They finished 5th out of 6 teams. Only 4 make it in the playoffs. Last year finished 5th. They played a good team as well. They lost to Porter by 2 points. They lost to Pace by 5 points. I mean, it was right there for the taking for Lopez. They win. You're talking about 7 points for 2 combined games. And you are looking at, instead of 4-6, you're looking at 6-4 and 3-2 in district play. So it's again, football is a game of inches, right? You lose to Porter by 2 points, you lose to Pace by a touchdown. or I apologize, you lose to Porter, yeah, by 2 points. You lose to Pace by 6 points. It's a 8 points in 2 games, which is totally insane. Football is a game of inches. You can't let anything slip. So Lopez looking to come back next year. Did not do that great against Mercedes. Not do that great against Ed Couch Elsa. Again, new district though, right? Pace will still be there. Porter will still be there. Donna new, Mercedes will still be there. And then the 2 Corpus schools as well. I don't think I did my math right there. But, and Lopez as well. So a little bit of a new couple teams in the district. Let's go ahead and go over their schedule for next year. They're starting out the year with Rivera. They got Hidalgo, Donna North. They're going up against Juarez Lincoln, who, if you didn't tune in last week, we talked about Juarez Lincoln. And then that's when district starts. They got Gregory Portland, Pace, Corpus Christi, Ray, Brownsville, Porter, Mercedes, and they finish the year off with Donna. Now, just going over a little bit of Lopez's future schedule, right? Because in my opinion, out of the 3 Brownsville schools in District 15 5A, Brownsville Lopez has the best chance to make the playoffs. Now, that's not talking about Donna, who's also in contention, because I don't know how well they did last year, right? But I look at Brownsville Lopez, and I think they just have more players coming back. They have a more complete team. I feel like they didn't lose as many players as Porter or as Pace did. And I think they have the best chance to compete with anybody next year. So for Lopez, we have Angel Moreno, starting quarterback. He was a sophomore last year. He'll be coming back this year as a junior. He had 104 completions. He didn't play the full season. 104 completions, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 1,201 passing yards. So for almost half the season, that's really great stats. Now, we can't average out. We can't multiply times 2 because he played half the season and say that's what his stats would have been, right? But as a sophomore last year, completing 104 of your 144 passes, 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. If you double that by 2, that's 22 and 10, right? If you double 1,200, that's 2,400. That's very, very, very solid. That's almost newcomer of the year stats. Now, obviously, next year you won't be a newcomer. You will be a seasoned vet. I hope everything went well with his injury to where he's fully healed and he's ready to come back, because he was doing a great job for that Lobo offense. And I expect him to be the X factor in any game that they have towards district play, right? Ricardo Saucedo, a junior running back, he has 114 carries, 631 yards, and 7 touchdowns last year as a sophomore. So you got that quarterback running back tandem, sophomore tandem, right? Like they probably played with each other all the way from 7th grade and up, right? So they have the experience together. They have that continuity, that chemistry, right? And as a head coach for Lopez, you got these 2 guys coming back. You had them last year, this year, and next year. That's sky's the limit, right? Like it's a treasure to have as a coach. And so Saucedo and Moreno both coming back as juniors. Saucedo, again, like I said, there's a running back. He's a junior. He's going to be coming in as a junior, 114 carries, 600 yards, 7 touchdowns. That is great stats. Again, what I've noticed, I'm gonna emphasize it once more, right? Well, actually, I'll continue down the list and then I will finish with that. Along with their quarterback, running back returning, they have 3 receivers who are coming back with 17 or more receptions each. So you have, like I've said, right, you cannot emulate varsity speed for a player that has never played on varsity before. For somebody that has, I've been there, I've done that. I've been in the same position. You go from playing McAllen Memorial's freshman team or Rivera's freshman team, and the next year you're starting week 1 against Mercedes at home, like it on varsity as a quarterback. It's a totally different thing. I've been there. I've experienced that. It's a totally different animal. Now, what I said about Pace, the one thing that they do not have they don't have a lot of people coming back. And like I said, you cannot emulate the varsity experience. It is so tough. I'd rather take a team that didn't do as well last year, but they have a lot of players coming back with meaningful varsity minutes, than a team that didn't do well, that did just a little bit better, but doesn't have a lot of players coming back with varsity meaningful minutes. Now, Marcos Linares, Aaron Requeña, Noe Cruz. 3 of the Lobo receivers coming back. They weren't their leading receivers. Again, Lopez lost some players too, all right? But those 3 receivers coming back for the Lobos, each having 17 or more catches. They all had a couple touchdowns, two, and one, right? So that is not bad for the second, third, and fourth option receivers. And they're coming back next year. They know they're going to be the number one options, or it's all of them, right? They're all going to eat. And it's going to be horrible for defensive backs, for secondaries to look at that and be like, we got an experienced quarterback coming back who balled out last year in the time that he could play. You have a running back who's coming back as a junior that balled last year. And then you have 3 receivers coming back with 17 or more catches. Now, I'm not a mathematician. That's at least like 1 catch a game. That's nothing crazy, right? But you have, like I said, you cannot emulate the varsity experience. They know the style of play. They know the speed. They played against half these teams. They played against Mercedes on varsity. They played against Pace on varsity. They played against Porter and Mission, one of the best teams in the Valley, Mission Vets on varsity. They played it. And they are used to it. They know what it takes. They know what it entails. So I think next year, those 3 receivers coming back are going to be deadly for the Lobos. And I mean, the sky is the limit for that offense. You say that I think Lopez sometimes run a little bit of a tight end formation. They might run something with an H back with a tight end as well, or have a tight end on the line, trips with a tight end, or doubles with a tight end, two receivers to one side, tight end, and split out on the other side. So maybe one of them will play receiver. I don't know how that will work, but you have 3 receivers. Again, like I was talking about the Pace coaches, they do a great job at adapting to what they have. If you have a pocket passing quarterback and you have a big guy that can catch the ball, is not that fast, and you have a speedy running back and your receivers aren't that great, you're going to run a lot of I formation. You're going to run a lot of tight end sets. You're going to run the ball a lot. You're going to keep your quarterback in that pocket, get the passes out fast, because your receivers aren't skilled enough to run those more developed routes, those post routes, those corner routes, those fade routes, right? So you're going to get them in quick. If you have a quarterback that can do both, that runs the ball better than he passes the ball, a running back that's like, your running back system isn't that great, you're going to run a lot of read options. You have 4 great receivers, you're going to run doubles. You're not going to run an I formation or 2 tight end sets. So we talked about that with Pace. They do a great job at that. They run the I formation, they run the gun, they run H back sets, tight end sets, they run spread sets. So Lopez, we've seen them last year do a couple of that. They run a little bit of tight end stuff, a little bit of H-back, a little bit of spread. They got 3 receivers coming back and a running back and a threat out of the backfield with the running back and a quarterback that can pass it. I think the coaches will do a good job at adapting, knowing what they have. Now, what I wanted to talk about, none of this will matter if you don't have an offensive line. I'm the number 1 advocate for offensive line play. You see it all the time. Any team that does not have a great offensive line, it ruins everything. A quarterback's best friend is a running game. The running game opens up the passing game, and you can have any scrub running back there. Lopez does not. Lopez has a great running back. They have Saucedo coming back, which makes it even better. But you can have any running back there. If your O-line is legit and can open the holes and open the running lanes, anybody can run through them. But you have Saucedo who can make the cut, make the next cut that not the average running back can see. If you pair that with a great O-line, it opens up the run game. Saucedo's numbers are going to go up. It's going to open up the passing game from Moreno, which will help Marcos Linares, Aaron Requena, and Noe Cruz, who are all seasoned receivers. None of that will work if your O-line isn't that great. You're going to try to run the ball on 1st and 10. You're going to get stuffed if you don't have a great O-line. 2nd and 12. Now we got to pass the ball. If you don't have a great O-line, we get sacked. 3rd and 18 now. And then that leaves it at 3rd and 18. Everybody knows you're going to pass the ball. So your receivers aren't even threats anymore because they're rushing 4 linemen. They got 2 back. They got a backer in the middle, and they're dropping 6 DBs. So all of that does not matter. All of the stuff I just said does not matter if you do not have a great O-line. I think Lopez will be great, fine. I think their O-line play is going to be fine. If it's decent at best, it will be enough you have a great quarterback, great running back, 3 great receivers. Lopez will be fine, in my opinion. I think they had a little bit of a down year last year. I think if their O-line can just hold up a little bit to give Moreno time to pass the ball, to give Saucedo a hole to run through, to give Moreno more time to pass the ball to his 3 X-factor receivers that can go make a play, that have shown last year that they can go make a play on the ball, I think that they're going to be fine because you have 3 great receivers, a running back, and a great quarterback. You're going to be fine. If your O-line can deliver and can play decent at best, could find themselves in the playoffs. Like, I truly believe so. So people are going to say it's a hot take. I don't see them losing to Pacer Porter, and I for sure see them being in that top 4 where they have weapons on all cylinders. Now, the defensive side, Juan Salcedo's coming back on that defense. 51 solo tackles, 97 total. Losing a couple of seniors. They are losing a good amount. Every team does, right? 17 total sacks as a team. 10 of those sacks came from seniors. 11 different people contributed in a sack. So what it's just telling me is that Lopez has a great D-line. They love to rush the passer. They get 17 sacks in one season. Obviously, that's not the best numbers, right? But 11 different people to get a sack. It's going to be great going into next year to where you know that these certain people, it's not just one person that the O-line has to worry about double teaming. It's not like a Myles Garrett situation with the Browns. Well, not this year because they had Mason Graham, but the year before, the years prior with Myles Garrett, where they got to double team him, they don't got to worry about anybody else. It's now to the point where they have multiple people that can go get after the quarterback. They can go one-on-one with the O-lineman. They have a nose tackle, they can go one-on-one with the center, D-end. They can go one-on-one with the tackles, right? Multiple guys that can do that to where if your D-line can do a great job, your D-line and your linebackers can do a great job at stopping the run. When it gets into those 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, those 3rd and 8, 3rd and 15, those for sure passing situations, it's going to be green. It's going to be like blood in the water for those D linemen where you got 17 sacks from 11 different people. Think about that. So these D line are going to eat. Like, they're really going to be able to get after the quarterback, but you got to first worry about stopping the run. Like I said about on their offense, your best friend is the run. For a quarterback, it opens up everything. For a D lineman, you cannot get sacks if you don't stop the run. So Lopez is going to do a good job at that, I think. They got to pick up their interception numbers. They've only had 6 total interceptions as a team from 3 different people. One of their players had 3 interceptions by himself, and he will not be back next year. So only 3 total interceptions from players that will be coming back next year. That is their one fault, I would say, is their defensive backs. But if your D-line can provide a good rush, can get to the quarterback like this, it's going to be hard for the quarterback to even get the ball out. So like we said about on the offensive side for Lopez, right? If you cannot get a good block, you're not going to be able to get the ball out to your playmakers and your receivers. Same thing on the defensive side. If you're getting to the quarterback, you don't have to worry about your shaky defensive backs behind you. It'll all work out. But if you cannot rush the quarterback and you cannot stop the run, play actions. Quarterback's going to have 5 seconds to throw the ball. They're going to run it down your throat. I think Lopez's D-line will get active, get after the ball, get after the quarterback, stop that run. And I think their DBs, they will fit just right in with that whole scheme. So that's what I got on Lopez. My hot take, I think they will make the playoffs. I got the Lopez Lobos going into the playoffs. I know we haven't done the standings. We're going to do the standings next week. But I have to say, I am very high on this Lopez team. I think they will make the playoffs. I think the schedule is in their favor. Obviously, Gregory Portland, Corpus Christi Ray, and Mercedes, tough schools. But you got everybody coming back. Who's to say you can't knock off one of those schools, right? And if you take care of business like you need to, I think Lopez will find themselves in the playoffs in the 2027 season. So we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. That's all that's gonna do here from Lopez Lobos. We're gonna be coming back and talking about the 3rd and final school in this District 15 5A. It's going to be the Porter Cowboys. So not that great of a season last year, a little bit less than these 2 teams we've talked about, Lopez and Pace. But we're going to talk about them, finish off the show talking about them. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, get ready, Porter Cowboys fans. We will be talking about Cowboy football.
Celebrate our present and ignite the future together. Texas Southmost College. 100 years ago, in the heart of the Rio Grande Valley, a spark was born. From the first dreamers who stepped onto these grounds, Texas Southmost College has stood as a promise that determination can overcome any challenge. Join us as we honor our past, celebrate our present, and ignite the future together. Texas Southmost College, 100 years strong, and the next 100 begin with you.
I fell on a loose towel at the grocery store, and now they're saying it's my fault. Do you think you could help?
Of course I can help. You should be focused on feeling better.
Oh, thank you, Law Champ. Hey, do you think I can get a selfie?
Of course.
This is the island where even the grown-ups forget what day it is. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
It means a lot to me. TSC has changed me to make me realize that I can accomplish things. Just don't give up. I've come a long way from where I was to what I am now, and there's no limit to where I'm going.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So we just finished talking about Lopez High School, Lopez football over here in Brownsville, and we talked about Pace, the segment before that. Now we're going to finish off here with the Porter Cowboys. Going to keep it short, going to keep it sweet, because I'm going to be honest, not what everything I have to say about this team is going to be good. But there's not a lot of stats on Porter. Couldn't find stats. I tried doing my homework before this show so I could get some stats. Nothing on Porter. So I apologize, Cowboys fans, Porter Cowboys fans. It's not going to be a whole lot about them. It's going to be more about the schedule, teams that they play, teams that they will be playing next year. So we're going to start with how they did last year. Porter Cowboys, 3-8 overall, 2-3, finished third in district, right? Only 6 teams in district. They were able to eke out 2 wins, one of them against Lopez, the other against Pace. So they made it third in the playoffs, and then they got absolutely destroyed by Sherryland in the first round of the playoffs. So talking about Porter, went 3-8 total. We'll talk about the teams that they played, right? We talk about, I've never really seen Gruya play. They beat Gruya 35-7. Got shellacked by Economides 78-21. Lyford 40-7. They lost. Santa Rosa, they lost 40-7. Pioneer, they lost 35-7. So in these non-district teams, you have Economides who finished second in their district. You have Pioneer who made the playoffs, third in their district. One of the better teams in the Valley, top 10, top 15, right? Santa Rosa is always known for having good football. And you get blown out by 57 to Economides, by 33 to Lyford. 33 to Lyford and 33 to Santa Rosa. And then you only put up a touchdown against Pioneer. So what I'm saying is that you, besides your win against Gruya in non-district, you put up 21 points against Economides. It's 3 touchdowns. 1 against Lyford, 1 against Santa Rosa, 1 against Pioneer. I don't know about Lyford. I believe Santa Rosa did make the playoffs. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? Pioneer was one of the better teams in the district, made the playoffs. Economides was one of the best teams in the Valley, made the playoffs. You can only put up a total of 28 points against both. And then if Lyford and Santa Rosa did not make the playoffs, you only put up a touchdown per game on them. Non-district is tricky. It's tricky. It's if you were in a 32-6A type district where you are playing, let's say, we're the PSJ Bears. We got to play Los Fresnos, Brownsville Vets, San Benito, Harlingen, PSJ North. That you might make your non-district a little bit easier because it is a gauntlet. Because at the end of the day, non-district does not matter when it comes to making the playoffs. But it doesn't matter. It does matter to see how your team is, especially if you have a young team, right? It matters to see how your team plays against other opponents, other talent, right? This is like, it's not free games, but it's like, even if we lose this game, we're not out of the playoff contention. It's helpful towards district. That's all it is. You want to schedule teams in non-district that play the same style of offense as your district opponents or same style of defense as your district opponents to get ready for them. Almost the same level as your district opponents. If you're a 32-6A team, you do not want to schedule a Sherryland, Pioneer, Mission Vets, and then Economides for your first 4 non-district games, and then go play Los Fresnos, Brownsville Vets, San Benito, Harlingen, PSG North. You don't want to do that. If you were a team like Porter, you don't want to schedule those kinds of teams as well, but you did not do well in district play, and that is what it is. You played Gruya, great, good job. Now you beat them 35-7. Then you played Economides, a real team. They were a real team last year. I talked a lot of smack about them, but they're a real team. 78-21, you lost. Played against Lyford, 40-7, you lost. Played against Santa Rosa, 40-7, you lost. Pioneer, one of the better teams in the Valley, you lost 35-7. Now let's go into district. Pace, you beat Pace 7-0. Great job. You get blown out by Edcal Chelsea. You pull it off against Brownsville Lopez, but then you lose by 69 points to Mercedes. You lose by 20 points to PSJ Southwest. And when you play one of the best teams, besides Mercedes, when you play one of the best teams in the Valley, Sharyland, in the first round of the playoffs, the competition's real now. Because a lot of districts might be more like I said, 32-6A has PSJ North, San Benito, Harlingen, Los Fresnos, right? This district has Mercedes, Donna, Pace, Lopez, Porter, both Corpus schools. I think 6A has way more talent. 32-6A has way more talent than District 15-5A, right? So you got to schedule some a little bit of harder teams in your non-district. Even if you're going to get blown out, you got to see how you're going to play against these teams. You have to see, because once you get to district, you might eke out a win or two like you did against Lopez and Pace. But then you get to the playoffs and you play against a real team like Sharyland, it's over. It's wraps, right? So I mean, I don't have much to say on Brownsville Porter, right? Like I don't see them doing all that great next year. Unfortunately, in my personal opinion, I see them falling on the bottom of the district. That is what it is. They haven't had a great team in years, and that is what it is. We're gonna go over their schedule now for this upcoming season. They're gonna start the year off at Donna North, which is a good test. That's a good test. And then you have a Valley View, who I don't know. They're so-and-so every year. Juarez Lincoln, okay. Lyford, not so bad, because you got a longer district now, which I understand. But those teams like Donna North and Lyford and Juarez Lincoln in the non-district will be a decent test to see how you play out. Because then once district comes around, you got Donna, and then you got Gregory Portland, you got Pace, Corpus Christi Ray, Lopez, and Mercedes. Now that is a little bit of a gauntlet in itself, right? Porter coming in is the worst team in District 15-5A. And that's not me talking crap about them, talking smack about them. That is what the rankings will come out to be. They are projected to finish the lowest. They got to play some decent teams in non-district to see how they're going to fare out, because if they eke it out and sneak into those playoffs, they're going to play a Sharyland again. They're going to play a top 10, 15 team in the Valley. That is what it is. Economides played Los Fresnos last year in the first round of the playoffs. Economides finished second in their district. Los Fresnos is probably one of the best teams in the Valley. Porter had to play Sharyland last year. Sharyland's up here. Porter's right here. You probably can't even see my hand in the camera right now. That's where Sharyland is. So I'm glad Porter scheduled a little bit harder schedule. Donna North in the non-district, and Juarez Lincoln is a decent test. Lyford as well, but they're not Mercedes. They're not Gregory Portland. They're not Corpus Christi Ray. So that's going to do it from here, what I have for Porter. A little bit of doom and gloom for them, right? Not much to say on them. I don't have stats on them. There's not stats to find here. I think they will do a little bit worse than they did last year, and that's just how it is. That's what I think it is. Not everybody's going to be happy. If district championships were participation trophies, everybody would have one. Fortunately, they don't. If by district trophies were championships, everybody would make the playoffs. If we're participation trophies, everybody will make the playoffs every year. That's not the case. Unfortunately for Porter, I believe that will not be the case again for another year. So that's going to do it here from Talkin Sports. No nil to be seen today. He'll be back next week when we talk about the rest of District 15-5A. We're going to talk about Mercedes, Donna, Gregory Portland, and Corpus Christi Ray. All Mercedes and up we will be talking about tomorrow. So, next week. I apologize. Next week. So stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a subscription. Like it. If you're watching on Facebook, like this post. Share it with a friend. Give us a comment down below. If you think my comments are outrageous against these Brownsville teams, let me know in the comments, please. I want to know. I want to hear y'all's opinion. So that's going to do it here from Talkin Sports with Josh. Y'all go ahead and stay tuned, and I'll see y'all next week.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.